Welcome to our Transcend Media Service viewers. My name is Kimberlye Kowalczyk, and I'm here today with Gudrun Kramer, who is co-director of IICP, Institute for Integrative Conflict Transformation and Peacebuilding, here in Vienna. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks a lot, Kimberlye.
I'd like to start by asking you what IICP's approach to conflict transformation is.
We try to bring in together different methods of dealing with conflicts, different methods from different disciplines of science. I think this is what we really try to do, and we try to work not only on the behavioral level, but we also try to tackle structures. So we also try to look at conflict from a systemic point of view, but at the same time we also think that cultural sensitivity is very important. So we also draw insights from cultural studies. It's not a classical mediation what we do, but we try to approach also the so-called hardliners, because what we can see in peace processes, one of the difficulties of why peace processes fail is that you do bring the moderates on the round table, the hardliners are excluded, and they would not support the process. And another thing what is important for us is somehow to deal with that question of justice. So I never met a conflict party that would think that they are on the wrong side. So every conflict party has its own understanding of justice. So how do you deal with it, especially in intercultural settings, and especially when you are a Westerner coming to a different culture? We saw that often mediators bring their own values with them without reflecting it. For example, values of democratization, which are values, of course, or the values of human rights. But when you go to different cultures, the problem is that people sometimes just refuse to accept these values and say this is not within our culture. So what we try to do is we try to find references for justice and what is just within each culture. So the reference point there for us is actually the human being. So this is something where we really got influenced by Johann Galtung and his concept of human basic needs. So we usually introduce into the discourse with the conflict party when we work with them that concept of human basic needs.
Maybe you could give us an example of one of the projects that you're working on.
We got involved in the peace process in Sri Lanka in 2002. This was upon request of the Sri Lankan government. So a quite high-level delegation came to Austria, and we started working with that group of 15 to 20 people, and every year since then they came to Austria and elaborated recommendations for the peace process. So what you see is that we work here just with one side, with one conflict party, basically with the Southern Society of Sri Lanka. We don't have representatives of the LTT, the Tamil Tigers, in that group, but we always make sure that the recommendations that are elaborated by this group are also then forwarded to representatives of the LTT.
Will you have the opportunity to then work with the Tigers?
This, I think, is impossible. And it's also difficult because the Tamil Tigers are proscribed as a terrorist organization here in Europe. In general, we basically think that it needs a dialogue with everybody if we want to solve conflicts.
As a mediator, what would you say is essential for the capacity of peace building?
Well, here I go also with Johann Galtung. I think that there are these three key competences. One is empathy, that you really try to understand the other, which is sometimes not easy. Again, our philosophy is you need to talk to everybody, you need to try to understand everybody, why these people are acting and reacting in that way, why they think in that way, why they feel in that way. That doesn't mean that I defend them, but it means I understand them. And I think it's a precondition if you want to build peace. So that would be the first key competence. The second one, I think, is non-violence. I don't think that violent means help to resolve conflicts. And the third competence is creativity, that we are capable of coming up with new solutions. Because I think that especially in the times as we have to face now, you know, in this globalist world, old solutions do not work anymore. I think we need to come up with really something completely new. And for this you need to be creative. So that means you need to come out of that thinking in dichotomies, in either or. I think that we need to go beyond and try to create a new reality.
I wanted to ask you about this post-tsunami reconstruction and beyond, this project. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, as we were already engaged in Sri Lanka, and as we were in Sri Lanka during the tsunami, we were asked by the Austrian Foreign Ministry to come up with a project for reconstruction in Sri Lanka. We are going to build one Muslim village, we are going to reconstruct one Tamil village and one Sinhalese village. And we want to go beyond reconstruction, so we also want to do something in order to foster coexistence between the communities. So we said we would like to connect this with a peace center and a peace resource center. So that was the fourth component, to build a peace resource center, also in the east of Sri Lanka. Our local partner, Savodia, did really a great job. So what they did is they engaged the people themselves in reconstruction and mobilized the people. And they also took care that ecological standards would be fulfilled, so all the villages got solar panels. We introduced rainwater harvesting, permaculture in the villages, so that also the people would have an income-generating activity. Finally, on 21st of September, now this year, on the International Day of Peace, the Peace Resource Center started operating, and it's really nice because we are focusing there on the youth, and the youth get some training in different jobs, but at the same time they learn the language of the others. So we have a very modern language laboratory there. So people learn Sinhala or Tamil and also English. And at the same time, peace-building activities are going on, like peace marches, peace meditations. And so we are very happy because it's really sustainable.
Thank you very much for speaking with us.
So thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thanks for the interview. Thanks for inviting me.
This is Transcend Media Service. My name is Kimberlye Kowalczyk. Thank you for watching.